you put yourself in a cycle.
Yes.
You put yourself in a cycle that will never end. And then you will continue to hustle. Listen, God forbid.
Not my life. Never ever.
So you know,
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, okay.
Would you say that hustle culture is a scam, like sort of?
Girl.
yes, it's a scam. It's a scam. That's a scam.
Mm-hmm.
Hello levelers, hope you are doing well. Welcome to another episode of the Levels Talk. Hey besties.
Hey.
How are you ladies doing?
Good.
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm doing perfectly fine. I'm so excited for this episode. So how was your week, ladies?
Yeah, it was a good week.
Yes, good.
Productive one.
Yeah, nothing to complain about.
Productive.
Productive. I like that. Anybody want to share what they did this week? Any thoughts?
Actually, you know what I read this week? So I was just seeing some posts and people saying I'm grinding, I'm hustling, I'm in my business and everything. And I was like, where is that coming from, this hustle, grinding and things? So I was like, okay, let me go check for the definition of it. And ladies, you won't believe what I saw.
What did you see?
Okay, no, let me go wait, because I know that I screenshot it because it was too much, and I want to tell the exact definition. Okay. So hustle. Let me find it. Hustle. Okay. It says that. So hustle means obtained by forceful action or persuasion. Okay, and then grinding, it says of a difficult situation, oppressive and seemingly without end. Seemingly without end. In the name of Jesus, I don't want to grind ever in my life. I will never grind in my life. So it's like I was like, okay, so we are in that moment, in that area where everybody, when they talk, they are like, I'm grinding.
Yes.
Oh, so you telling me that you are oppressed, and your oppression is without end?
Please repeat that.
So you telling me that you are oppressed.
Yeah.
And that everything that you do has to come from a forceful place.
Yeah.
You need to force for everything that you do. You are oppressed and it seems like there is no end.
I'm not
And
really
I was
oppressed.
like, what is this? Where is that expression coming from? This is not from God.
No.
Because if you are children of God, you know that all the promises God gave you, it's already yours.
Yes.
So why would you force to have your blessings? It's already yours.
Yes.
And why? Like, I don't understand where it came from.
Yeah.
Can I give a disclaimer as well?
Yes.
I'll just give a disclaimer because there's people who don't know how to understand or listen properly. She's not saying you should not work. She didn't say that. That's a disclaimer. She didn't say do not work. She's saying do not work until forcefully.
Yeah,
that's what she's not saying. Because I know you people out there. Y'all gonna kind of say, oh, you guys are saying, but she's not saying do not work.
The Bible says that the worker worth his wages.
Yes.
So you need to work to obtain something.
Yes.
But what would be your position when you go to a job interview, for example, knowing that it's already yours? Instead of being in a state of mind that I'm forcing to have that, I'm in pain, it's going to be hard and everything. No, you know that this blessing of yours is yours. It's been already given unto you. So now when you act with that state of mind, with that mindset, knowing that it's already yours, you don't have to force anything, it's already yours. Don't you see that there is a peace that is coming with that?
Yes.
So the hustle culture is making us think that we have become our own God.
Yes.
Because it removes the importance of God in our lives. We are called to walk by faith, and everything that we have to do is literally we know that we just do our part and that God is gonna do His part.
Exactly.
But when you are hustling and never stopping, it's like you're telling yourself that if I am not doing, if I am not going to work, if I am not forcing, then I'm not going to be blessed. I'm not gonna have the award that I'm looking for. But the thing is that when you do this, it's exactly when you're not gonna have it, because you put yourself in a cycle.
Yes.
You put yourself in a cycle that will never end. And then you will continue to hustle. Listen, God forbid.
Not my life. Never ever.
And you know,
can I ask a question?
Yeah, okay.
Would you say that hustle culture is a scam, like sort of?
Yes, it's a scam. It's a scam. That's a scam.
100%.
Yeah. You know, even God rested the seventh day.
Ooh.
So who are we to not rest?
Yes.
We're supposed to be able to claim everything that is ours in the rest of God. You know?
Yes.
So this thing of like working 24 hours, 7 days, and you don't no vacation, like people, like your employee is calling you to do overtime, you take all the overtime, you don't think about you don't think about your family. And I know that some of you, or a lot of you, you're saying I'm doing this for my family, but you have to understand as well that your family is not only doesn't only want your money, but your family needs your presence too.
Yeah,
you know.
100%.
And this is something that even like in the African culture, like it's always like, well, I provide for you. I've been providing for you. That's how I show love. But the thing is, your presence is a sign of love for your family too. So, like, don't take everything, like, don't take all of this burden on you, like hustling and grinding on you. No, like, God has supplied everything that you need every single day, and you have to seek Him. That's why we say, seek first the kingdom of God, and everything will be added unto you. It does not say look for work first. You have to look for God first, and God will supply everything. And even like Jesus said, like, well, I'm going to paraphrase, that every day has its suffering. Chaque jour suffit sa peine. How do we say it in French? In English, sorry. But the worst is like, it was you people of little faith. So it means that hustling and grinding, you are showing God that you have no faith.
Yeah.
Because it's by my strength, right?
Yeah.
It's like every result that I have is because I worked for it.
Yes.
And this really brings me to purpose, because a lot of people, they are hustling, they're grinding, they're doing all this hard work. It's like, I have to keep going, I have to do it. But there's no purpose in what they're doing.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, God needs to have the glory.
Yes.
Everything that we do in our life, He wants to have the glory.
Yes.
So there's no point in you grinding. Like, what you grinding for?
Let me ask you, Atala, because you said God has to have the glory.
Yeah.
Let's say somebody says, but okay, I'm hustling, but I'm hustling for God. I'm hustling to give God the glory. I'm not doing it just for myself. So how do you tell a person, like, okay, don't hustle? Let's say if I'm hustling, how are you going to convince me that hustling is not of God? Because if I'm going to be hustling to give God the glory, then what happens?
Because first of all, fulfillment, thank you. Like, fulfillment, if you're not fulfilled in what you're doing, then you're not in God's will.
But let me explain. What about an entrepreneur? Let's say I'm an entrepreneur and I say I work 24 hours a day. I work 24 hours a day, but I am fulfilled. I like what I do. Go, and I'm okay with working so hard until I die because I like it.
I think.
But how are you going to speak to the audience that is maybe in that kind of mindset?
with God, if it comes from God, you won't have to suffer.
Okay.
If it comes from God, you will not, it's not going to be hard. And I feel like sometimes when you're hustling, you're struggling. So when it comes from God, no matter what you do, whether you're a business woman, whether it's just a job you love, if it's from God and if you're in purpose, you will not struggle. Things will come easily. Doors will come easily. God will connect you to people. It's just going to be easy. Because being fun, something being fun does not mean that like it's easy, right? It can be fun and you're struggling. It can be fun and you're going to bed and you're like, you have anxiety because, oh my God, tomorrow I don't know, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this mess. So that's why I'm going to come back to purpose. If God says yes, then everything else will just flow and you won't have to force it.
I wanted to say that, you know, it's, for me, it's not about it being easy. Because it's not, well, for me, I don't agree that it's going to be always easy. There is time that it's going to be easy. Because your grace will be there. You know, doors will be open, and it's going to be easy. But there is a time, like, for sure, everybody is going to go through that time where it's not easy. But it's about the mindset. What is the posture of your heart? What is the posture of your mindset? When you're working and you think that you're doing it for the glory of God, but you feel oppressed and you feel like the door never opens, you feel like you have to force every door. You feel like you're always oppressed, like it never ends. But you see fruit, like I would say fruit, like you know, not good fruits. How do you say that? Like rotten fruit. Yeah. So you see that, so it, and you think that it's coming from God, but it cannot come from God because what is followed by these fruits? What comes with these fruits? Is it peace? Is it rest? Is it fulfillment? Or you feel like a heavy burden on yourself. You feel oppressed and you feel like unless you do what you have to do, well, what you keep doing, you won't see like the light, you know. So
and I think also concerning, well, following up with what you asked, Dave, is that a lot of people, they will say, yes, I'm happy, especially we see that with women a lot, but we will see people saying, yes, I'm happy with the hustle that I'm doing, I got this and all, I'm doing this for the glory of God, but they are not true to themselves. And they are not true to what they are truly feeling, because when we even look at the hustle culture, we see something, we see the fast life. We see a very manly way of doing things, of getting money. But you know, I will use the word hustle, but it's not really a hustle. It's really fulfillment and purpose. But when God created women, He created them to be in a resting character, if I can say this way. He created us with creativity. He created us with a feminine hustle. And a lot of women, they feel like they can handle that manly hustle, but they are lying to themselves. And they are lying to themselves just for them to continue to be able to go and hustle like a man. So I think that even that, like, people have to be real with themselves when they look at this situation, when they look at this topic. People, especially women, because we see a lot of women having a lot of issues internally with their families. It's like they are not resting, they are not slowly living, they are not living in their purpose.
And you know what, just to tell you about like the issues that women have internally, like I saw somewhere that women started to have health issues linked to women. So it means like ovarian cancer, breast cancer, everything that is related to the feminine. To femininity. When they started, and when they entered the workforce, and they replaced the labor of men when the men went to World War II. So meaning that the labor that the men were doing like caused women to start having like cancer, which means that there are things that men are doing and we're not supposed to do.
Yes.
Or our bodies are not meant to do it, but we have been lied to, thought that everything a man can do, I can do it.
I agree with all of you guys, but I want to be bringing in the question. Maybe someone out there is watching it like, what is she saying? So I'm gonna first go with Deborah, because Deborah was like, so this is maybe my question. What if someone has to argue and say, but the Proverbs 31 woman, she's wake up early in the morning and go to work in the book, but what are you saying? She's not.
Yeah, she wasn't grinding. I don't.
Yeah, but she was going to look for her family. The Bible says she went early in the morning and she went to, maybe if I'm gonna put it in paraphrasing words, she went to look for her family.
But was that grinding? Because when we have to go back to the definition, right? Can you give us the definition again?
Yes, let me.
And the thing is, she was not even working like for an employee.
No, because remember Deborah changed it and said the female way.
We have to rest.
Okay.
Yeah. And the thing is, I really think that entrepreneurship was created for women too, because our bodies are not like men. It means that even when you have your periods, if you are an entrepreneur, you can work your schedule around your periods to not be working while you have your periods, right? When you're going to be a mother, well, some of you are mothers. Like, if we were in a world that business was made the feminine way, it would be easier for you to be able to take care of your child, because everything would be set for you to take care of your child, to take off whenever you want to take off to cater to your child. But even here we're in Canada, right? We're in the province of Quebec. Thank God, I think that you can have maternity leave for one year, if I'm not mistaken, and it's paid, right? Yeah. Maybe it's not 100% like fully paid like your regular salary, but at least you're paid. But like in the United States, I hear like women going back to work 3 days after they gave birth.
Wait, but I need to ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
Me, I'm for the viewers. Yeah, for the viewers, because they're telling us, and even me as you're speaking, I'm 100% agree, but I know that there's other people also have questions, because no one's just gonna agree. So are you guys saying that hustling or grinding is a bad word?
Yes, because the problem, what, like the whole purpose of this conversation is that if you keep proclaiming those words over your life, this is the atmosphere you're going to entertain.
Because death and life is on the top of your tongue.
So unless that you change your language, you won't see a change in your life.
Okay, so what does one of our viewers now, who's a working person, who doesn't want to hustle, who doesn't want to grind, what does she call her location?
She's working in God's purpose.
Okay, that's a good line.
I'm working
in God's purpose. Okay, so we don't say we're hustling, we say we are working in God's purpose.
Exactly, and I don't want you to get us wrong. It's like we're not saying that working is bad, or I don't want to use the word grinding. After hearing that definition, I am definitely not going to be using it anymore. I rebuke that word in my life. But I think, like Aurélie said, like just being in purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doing things, having a purpose, and not your purpose, but God's purpose.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what I'm really getting out of this conversation. Because the devil wants us to be in that hustling mentality, right? He wants us to be in that grinding mentality. Because even when you're in that mentality and you're not really like doing things with purpose, you don't even have time for God.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the thing is, we're just going to clarify, because some people, they're gonna say that I am in my purpose. No, we're talking about God's purpose for your life.
For your life, yes.
Not your purpose that you think it is, but what God has for you.
So Kim, this is my question for you.
Yes.
Maybe one person is here listening to you, and it's like, but how do I know my purpose? Because you keep on talking about God's purpose. So where do I go to find my purpose or God's purpose in my life?
Well, first of all, you have to have a relationship with your Creator.
100%.
I mean, that's the foundation of Christianity. You have to pray. You have to seek the face of God. I mean, you have to inquire.
Yes.
You have to inquire Him. Second tip, you're going to look for your natural talents, what you are able to do naturally. Whether it is singing, whether it is cleaning the house, that's a talent that some people don't have. Anyways, and the third tip is your experiences, your life experiences. Like, sometimes we live things that are very difficult, and we are wondering, like, why God, why me? Why me? Why I have to go through all of this? And later on in your life, you will see that God is leading you to the people that are living the same things that you live through, and you going to be a beacon of hope for them, that God can restore, that God can heal, that God can deliver. So that's why everything that you are going through, don't see it as, God, why me? You have to ask God, like, what is the lesson? What is happening behind that? And because God will use that. So don't harden your heart while you are going through those things, but ask God to help you, like, to keep that heart so you can help the other people as well.
That's really good.
So good.
That's so good.
Yeah, so that's how you know your purpose. Okay.
And ladies, real quick, can you give us like some negative impacts? I know we already spoke a lot about negative, but like negative impacts of like a husband culture, like in a household, like in a home, basically, like how can it affect the home?
100, like, and mostly coming from men, because I think women, we have that nurturing nature. So we are able to, most of women were, right? Because
not the masculine ones.
But so men. Most of men, they think that by providing and hustling and grinding for their family, they think that they are doing their job, while their wives are just asking them to be home, more home for the children, more home for her, or to do family activities. So this will affect a lot households. When you don't understand your position, your role, and the depth of your role, not just the outside.
And can I add something real quick about providing? Because every time that we talk about providing, like, people think it's always financial, but no. As a man, as the leader of the house, you have to provide financially, emotionally, spiritually. So that's first. Spiritually, mentally. So don't think only about the finances.
Yes.
And one thing that I can add, I remember a friend of mine back in the days, he told me, time is the only thing you can never ever get back. And hustling, grinding, all of that is good. But especially in like, no, it's not good. Okay. Let me rephrase what I was gonna say. Let me rephrase it, okay? Because we're not using hustling and grinding anymore. But being in God's purpose is good. But it's also good to have balance, because time being that you can never take it back, especially in a family setting. Often, you know, we grew up, I would say for me, example, you know, my dad, he was a hardworking man. He would work a lot. So I didn't really see my dad a lot. So growing up, I wasn't able to build that relationship. So years go by, and 10, 15 years later, you find yourself in a position, you're like, I don't have the relationship I would have wanted to have with my dad. You know, I don't have the relationship I would have wanted to have with my mom, because, you know, they were hardworking, they were doing what they thought was right for the family. But going back in time, I wish I would have had that moment, you know, just to be close.
Can I add as well? I like what you said, because this in a family. Sorry guys, I'm just tongue-tied right now. Sorry. Okay, so in a family setting, like it really affects a lot of children. Like if you look at a lot of children who had parents who were constantly working, you can tell how these children turned out compared to the children who had parents that were present, that were in their lives, that were supportive, that went with them to the sport games, that went with them to the activities, and compared to those whose parents were always working. And then also, like with you, it's the same issue. Like for me personally, I had a father who was always working, and after a couple of years, you realize that you don't know your father, and your father also does not know you. And yes, he was providing a roof over our head, and we had food and clothes on our back, but which is good, the providing part, not the hustling part. The providing part was good, but it's really important to have balance so that you know your children, you know the type of children that you are raising, and also it's also very important for children to know their parents.
And they live the same, right, ladies?
Like our father would work, like he would drop us at school. It would be like 6, 7 a.m.
Even sometimes he was not dropping us at school because when we woke up, he was not there. He was just it was just enough for him to wake us up and give us some pocket money, and then he was through the door. And since the school was 5 minutes walk, we would walk, you know.
Yes, but you know, me, I'm talking when we started, when we were younger, you know, before we could walk to school. So we would only see him because he would drop us at school, and he will come back home at midnight.
So because he had 2 jobs.
He had 2 jobs, and so we would only see our father on weekends, and we won't do much during weekends anyway. So
I want to hear the Deborah as well, and then I'll have another question.
Well, they said everything.
Okay, so the question is, what are you guys going to be doing differently in your homes to ensure that you don't have hustling culture, and also that you have balance?
I put my trust in God.
Woo! I love that. that was a deliverance for me. I love that.
Listen, trusting God is just something else. Because you know that God is God.
Come on.
But if God is God, it means that He will also work in your life the way He wants it to do it, not the way you want Him to do it. So sometimes you think that, because as I said earlier, the hustling culture is also depending on your own self. You think that you kind of take the place of God in your life. But sometimes God is just trying to give you a certain knowledge of Him, and He wants to give you a certain lesson. So He will not give you everything at the time that you need it to have, at the time that you think that you need to have it. And putting your trust in God means that if He wants me to be in His purpose, and He told me His purpose, I am staying in His purpose, even when I feel like I'm drowning, even when I feel like things are not going right, and that I can even go out and get a solution right now. I'm not going to do it because God has a purpose behind everything that I'm going through. So when you trust in God, at the end, even though the journey may seem rocky, at the end you will understand everything. And you will understand that even the labor that you were doing before, that was continual and that was never ending, mounted up to nothing compared to what you received when you trusted God, stayed in His purpose and waited on Him. So that's something that
I don't know what I can add to that.
That's all.
You said it all. Just trust in God. Yes.
I have one question.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
and then we're almost done.
All right.
Okay, my question is, I love everything that Bola said because this is the foundation of my life. But someone needs to hear like a physical answer. Can someone give a physical answer?
Yeah.
I mean, like, yes,
a physical answer. I will say just finding balance, knowing when to stop, and also sometimes just taking a break to reevaluate. Because often we're in a go mindset, but we don't take the time to stop and evaluate the situation. Where am I in life? How's my relationship with my family? How's my relationship with my friends? How's my relationship with God? You know. So it's important sometimes to stop. And I think for me, if it's something physical and not more spiritual, it's really stopping and trying to create balance.
Yeah, that's really good. And I wanted to add to that something more practical. So I'm going to talk to those who are not married and that don't have kids. Okay, this is the perfect time to fix everything. Well, to fix everything. Maybe you cannot fix everything, but if let's say you want to work hard on, example, your finances, do it right now. Because you are not married, you don't have kids, so there's no really family settings. Yes, you could go visit your parents if you don't live with them, but right now is the time to work hard like you want to do it, if you really want to do it. And you have to set up a financial plan that will allow you, when you're going to have your family, to be able to rest. So it means have investments, like to start having investments, like you do. Set up your businesses, create your passive income. So when you're gonna get married and you're gonna have your kids, at least you're gonna have like your passive income that makes money for you, so you don't have to work, and you will be able to, example, go to the soccer game, the Bible game, the cheerleading game if you want, going to the on a trip and stuff like that. And if you are already married and you already have kids, I'm not in that position right now, but I mean it's the same thing. Like if you can start little by little, make some sacrifices, and even sit your children down if they are older enough, like tell them like right now it's going to be a little bit not complicated, but just try to make to be easy right now. We're going to be tight for some things, you know. Maybe I'm not going to buy a lot of toys like I used to, but this is just for a moment, and the the money that you would use to buy toys, invest, you know, like create something that will make passive income so you can reduce the hours too. And if you are a servant of God, you are in the ministry, you know, because you can hustle and grind in ministry as well.
Yes. We're not talking
what I'm saying,
I wanted to add something.
But
I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying this as we want to do it, but there are servants of God that are trying to find every single, like, no, the one who is going to give you the sheets, it's God. So you have to trust God. Like, you can find any kind of way to get more people to your ministry, but if God doesn't want to, you're gonna do like this, okay? God doesn't, like, if God doesn't want to send chips to you, you can find any type of strategies. He won't do it. So
you don't hustle and grind in ministry.
Yeah, you don't.
No, especially that.
Yeah. Especially.
Oh, please.
I just wanted to add something about for the people that are single, not married, don't have children. Just to summarize everything she said, because I'm a financial advisor. Be smart, okay? At your age, in the position you are in, because you don't have to be like 19 years old to not have a husband and children, but you can be older. Just be smart.
Yeah.
Learn financial literacy.
Yes. Yes.
Speak to advisors, to people that knows their craft and what they're talking about. Because I'm telling you, every time I'm looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh. Because I became financial advisor like 2 years ago. But if I knew.
I wish I knew.
If I knew.
Especially that one.
Yeah. Like, so be smart.
Yes.
Just be smart, guys.
Yeah, I thought you wanted to say something.
Yes, I wanted to add something since we're talking about money, right? It's also important to know when to stop.
Yes.
And I think the reason why hustling and grinding is bad, and the devil even wants you to be in that state, because at the end of the day, it's gonna kill you. When you don't know when to stop. Because sometimes I've seen people, enough money is never enough. And when you get to that point where you don't know where to stop, you don't know where it's like, okay, you know what, I have enough, I have a good house, I have a good car, I can eat whatever I want, I can travel wherever I want. It's like knowing when to stop. Because some people, they don't know and then you just keep going, they just keep going, they just keep going. I'm not saying that money is bad, but we have to be smart about it. And at the end of the day, we really need to find that balance, because I've seen people lose family, lose friends. They've lost themselves. There's nothing worse about losing yourself, because then it's like you've become a slave to money. You've become a slave to success. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't know a slave that is happy.
No,
you know, and I think it's also the reason why we see so many people commit suicide. You're like, this person had millions, but how come this person, like, that money couldn't save them, that money couldn't give them enough happiness to keep themselves alive? You know, so we really have to know when to stop. I really wanted to share that because I've seen people, you know, they have the zeal, they have the drive, but they've just lost themselves on the way.
So was it physical enough or practical enough?
It was practical. I think it was practical. Well, our viewers are gonna let us know. So you can let us know in the comments and tell us like what you think, and let's have this discussion together.
Yes. So we're gonna wrap it up. So besties, thank you. Another great conversation.
Yes.
Never a dull moment with you ladies. I just love you guys.
We love you too.
No matter how many conversations we have, there's always just something new that we learn from each other. Personally, honestly, this conversation just opened my mind to like so many things. And it also like pushed me to just change how I see things, right? We're no longer talking about hustling. Nope. So that really made me change my mind when it comes to that. And levelers. So I really hope it helped you. So we're going to wrap it up and we are going to see you in the next episode. So take care and
let's grow together.
Bye bye.